Hey everyone, I wanted to share with you something that is crucial to having an effective class period, and that is a strong start. So, why is a strong start to class important? Well, the first 5 to 10 minutes of class sets the tone for the rest of class. And I think that it's not surprising to us that this is the case, but having a strong start will set the tone for a strong finish for the class. So, what do you do? Well, have a plan. So, I will admit that for me as a teacher, this is one of the most challenging for some reasons I'll get into. But making sure that having that strong start and it's the same every day, so being consistent, can be challenging for me because I get really in the moment. So, what I do is I script out exactly what I need to say. So, in those moments where it can be challenging for me to stay on topic, I script out exactly what I need to say to students. So, when the year starts, or if I'm trying to initiate a new routine, I will have it scripted right on a clipboard right in front of me to say exactly what I need to say to them. That way, it's planned out, and I say only what I need to say and exactly what I need to say. Then I need to be consistent. So we need to make sure that if it's the same exact routine each day, we're doing that same routine each day. If it's just a shell of a routine, meaning like there is a do now, but there might be a couple of different ways you have them come in, like they're not all entering in, giving you a fist bump or elbows, then make sure that you teach into the different ways you may have them start class. Maybe sometimes they're walking by and grabbing a do now. Maybe other times they're going and grabbing a notebook in the back of the class. You need to make sure they understand exactly what's expected when they walk in. So, third, share your plan with other teachers. You never know who might be struggling with the beginning of class. So, teachers, we don't like to admit that we might be struggling with something or something is challenging. I've been in this work for 17 years, and I definitely will admit when things aren't going well. But I've been really humbled by seeing other teachers who have been doing it way less time than I've been doing this do it better. And so I like to learn from them. So we learn a lot from each other. Four, make sure what you're doing is aligned to the content and skills you're teaching. This is really important. So you could have a really creative, fun do now. If that do now, I call it a do now. If that first activity, opening activity you have them doing does not connect to what you're doing in the rest of class, it will be really disjointed. Some students will be able to navigate that no problem, but for a lot of other students, it's hard for them to understand why what you're asking them to do is so important to do right now. Why are we doing this? The more you can connect your do now or opening activity with what you're going to be covering in class and what instructional activity you're going to be having them do, the better it will be for students and the more engagement you'll get. Why is this helpful? It engages students immediately. Again, we don't want any really unstructured time in the beginning of class. You're getting feedback from students since this is a method of formative assessment. Sorry about the dogs. But you're getting feedback from students since this is a method of formative assessment. So whatever you have them do, now you're seeing like, okay, did they learn what they were supposed to learn yesterday? Are they prepared for, what we're covering today? So it's a great way of getting feedback. Routines help students settle in more quickly. So the more you have a routine, the more students get used to settling in and getting right to work. It also gives you the chance to take attendance or do other housekeeping items. Again, I'm the person who gets really into like whatever's going on. All of a sudden, I forgot to take attendance. Most schools require that it's taken within the first 10 minutes of class. So if you have students already knowing exactly what to do when they're sitting and doing it, then you can take attendance or do other housekeeping items. And then finally, this is where I always got stuck. Students would come in and somebody would want to check in with me right away, or I'd have a question to ask them. And then all of a sudden I'm talking to one student and like 28 other students are doing whatever. That might not be the end of the world, but it definitely doesn't help get everybody settled. So first, get them settled into their routine, doing their do now or whatever the opening activity is. Then you can check in with a student without having to worry about 28 other kids waiting on you to tell them what to do. So what now? Well, obviously, after the 5 to 10 minutes, you're going to transition to the next activity. That's another place where a lot of times teachers say like they just kind of get lost or lose it. So make sure you have that's what you plan out next. It's helpful to have a plan and a routine for what the transition is going to look like to maintain the engaged momentum and enjoy teaching your class.